Hey, good morning and welcome to Glue Monday. Why did I hesitate? Well, if this is your first time on, you won't realize, or you didn't realize, or maybe someone did tell you that I originally started out this broadcast as just being called Glue Wednesday, where I just went live on Wednesdays. And then when the pandemic hit, I decided to switch over and I now do Glue Monday and Friday as well. So I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Why? We've got less than a minute for today's message, but I did that because so often the cliche is that Monday was hump day. And I decided that hump had the connotation of the need to get over, when in fact Wednesday is the middle of a traditional 7 day week that keeps the week beginning and the week end together. So it's the glue of a week. And that puts us right into a prayerful mode. And therefore I say glue is GLUE. God's love undoes everything. Not that his love will tear things apart, but whatever's torn apart, he'll bring it back together for you. So that's why I created Glue Wednesday. And then, like I said, for the pandemic, I expanded it and made it Glue Monday and Friday as well. So we've got less than a minute. I always try to come on actually 5 minutes before the broadcast. I only made it to 2 minutes before this time. So I won't have as much of a warm up as as I'm used to having, but I will have a warm up. And that's what we're doing right now, is talking about it. So, hey, what's up, Kenny Graham? Glad to see that you got on there. All right. See, so I can now at least see, when people come on versus in my feeds, because there's going to be somewhat of a delay. But look, it's 1 o'clock, and here we go with our message today. And my message today is, I call it Viewer's Choice. Viewer's Choice Affirmations. I did this last Wednesday and we had a great time. It was a wonderful interactive session where what actually happens is, using my book Affirmations, what I did is, according to how people come in, and Kenny, you're in there, and if you want to participate, come on. But according to how people come in, I would then have them pick a number from 5 to 97, which are the numbers of the pages in my book. Once they pick that number, I will read the affirmations. Let me back up a second. An affirmation is, hey, Penny, I call them affirmations because they're acronyms of a word, but I have turned them into, instead of just replacing, most acronyms just replace the word, the letter with a word. And so I'm saying that I replace the letter with a word that gives the whole word meaning. So an affirmation is an acronym that is an affirmation that you can use as a way to govern your life. In fact, if you can see here, I've got focus, FOCUS. Finding ourselves creates unlimited success. Focus on you and that others come into focus. So see, it gives focus an actual meaning versus just saying pay attention. What's up, Vic? So Vic is going to actually be first, because you're the first one to put a thing in the comment there, even though I know Kenny and Penny, that rhymes. Kenny and Penny clicked a like and a love, but I don't know if they're staying on the broadcast. But Vic, you great, because you know how this goes. So you're going to pick a number from 5 to 97. I'll use my affirmation book. I'll tell you which affirmations are on that page, and then you'll tell me which one of those you want to hear the message about. And then I will read that to you and tell you why I came up with that affirmation, as well as when I came up with it, what was on my mind. But let me add something today. I want to add something today, and that is, as I was thinking about putting this together, I thought about one of my affirmations, and that is learn. But before I get to learn, let me go to this. I did a meme post today, and my post today said, let me see if I can find this here. My meme post today. Oh, okay. Well, if you see it on my feed, it says, these damn kids of today. These damn kids of today have no respect. And then that was my quote. But then I said, now look at you and your friends last week of posts. Do you have a clear conscience? See, when I tell you about why I wrote my different affirmations, and I'm going to be showing you that this is what I believe. So I want you to make sure you get a chance to look at that meme, because then it goes on to say, I fall off the wagon sometimes too. Yet I forgive myself and focus a little harder on going beyond practicing what I preach to being sure that I preach what I practice. Children mimic and mirror adults. Don't let your public persona become more important than your personal commitment. What are you doing in this scenario with the kids to model respect? You say children don't have, these kids, if they don't have respect, what are you doing to model respect? And don't be guilty, just be insightful, because we need you. So that's what I said. I did that meme, and that's what I decided to do. I said, well, let me go back, and I just flickered through my pages like I'm asking you to do, and came up with one. And I came across the one called Learn, Learn. Listen, educate, ask, read, and new. And then I have it on that page. It says how you absorb what you absorb makes a difference. So as I tell you how I came up with that affirmation, I have to also say that I practice what I preach, and I'm preaching what I practice. Do I learn this way? Do I listen, educate, ask, read, and get new information? And I had to say to myself, yes, I do. Now, that's the beauty for me of having the book, where I can read and say, yes, this is what I believe, which could be a good reason for you to have the book, because you pick some ones that you really believe and say, yeah, I am living that. And it's an easy way for you to remember some of the things you believe, as well as to come up with some different themes, okay? But that's what I did, is I went to my book, and I thought of, just look at that. You can go to your book in terms of who you are in your life. Are you showing what you believe? You say you want respect. Are you giving respect? So learning, you have to listen. The number one communication skill is listening, not speaking. So to learn, you have to listen first and get the information. Get your education. Doesn't necessarily mean going to school, but school's a good thing. But also education means whoever you listen to, choose your messages carefully, because you will be getting an education from that person. So choose the right people, and then ask questions. Learning is not just, oh yeah, that's the way we're going to go. No. Ask questions if something is not clear to you, so that you can make sure that you really get where we're going with this thing. And then read, which also means do your research. You know, even though you've chosen this messenger, and it could be me, but you've got this information. Now, don't just take everything I say for granted. Why don't you check on the research? It's just like when people send me a post and they say such and such, and I fact check it before I'm going to forward something. I go to truthforfiction.com or Snops, fact check. So read, check, make sure that, put me in check. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's an important thing to do. And new. See, because learning is about getting new information. So what new information do you have that you can help teach somebody else and pass it along, so that they can listen as you educate them, and they can ask questions, and they can read and research what you've said, so they can now get another new person. And that's what learning is all about. So thank you for doing that. So Vic, you're up first. Haas, you're in second. Haas is in second. Haas guys, page 19. Vic, you didn't give me a page. There you go, Vic, page 26. All right. So page 26, and what we're going to be doing, and let me see, let me get my book title up there. No, we're going to stream it. Affirmations, viewer's choice. Page 26, Vic, here are your choices. Page 26, woo. Demons, D-M-O-N-S, die, D-I-E, and diet, D-I-E-T. Which one of those affirmations would you like to hear about, Vic? Demons, die, or diet? And there's a delay, so I'm going to wait and let the technology come, and Vic will let me know which one he's going with. Demons, die, or diet, Vic? Which one? I don't have any music to play while we're waiting. Aha, here we go. Demons. Okay, for me, demons. D-E-M-O-N-S. And what I did is I decided to turn a negative into a positive. And I said, demons destined for emotional mayhem over nurturing spirits. Destined for emotional mayhem over nurturing spirits. Or I have a second meaning. Decisions emotionally made outside of nurturing situations. And see, now, and you know what I'm loving about this is because I call it viewer's choice, but it gives me a chance to, again, reconnect with some of the things I wrote because I don't necessarily know the spirit I was in when I wrote it, but I can check it out. Zet, you're going to need to be picking a number next. Haas is next, and then you, okay? So destined for emotional mayhem over nurturing spirits. That's what a demon is. See, a demon is someone that is destined for emotional mayhem, which means they are going to lose sight of who they are. You know, when you have those demons in you, that negativity, you lose sight of who you are. That's emotional mayhem. I'm out of control instead of nurturing spirits. See, so you're destined for being out of control instead of being someone who's going to nurture spirits and help people stay positive. And then decisions emotionally made outside of nurturing situations. Because sometimes the demons, there's a thing called negativity bias when we do the study of stress. Negativity bias is something that most of us have. We immediately think of the negative thing when something happens. You know, what's the worst? And in fact, we always hear, what's the worst case scenario? We very rarely say, let's look at the best case scenario. We look at the worst case scenario first, which, by the way, I'm not totally against, because it's just like I like to say, instead of pros and cons, let's weigh the pros and cons. I like to say, let's weigh the cons and pros. Let's put the negative first and get it out the way so that the last thing out of my mouths is the positive. So decisions emotionally made outside of nurturing situations. And that definition goes a little backwards. See, first you need to nurture the situation. What's going on here? Nurture the situation before you make a rash decision. That's an emotional decision that you make that could, and so when you're in that negativity bias and you're really looking at the negative of it, instead of you, and then you react to the negativity, instead of taking your time, the emotional, to nurture it. Okay, let's see what's going on. Where am I? What happened? And now I can make a decision that's going to help this become more positive. Okay, so great. All right, thanks, Vic. And I'm going fast with these. The beauty of it is these things become good for conversation as well. Okay, so Haas, you pick page 19. Zach, get ready. You're next. Pick a page. Let me put the rules up there. Put the rules up there. Pick a page, a number between 5 and 97, and I'll read the affirmation, and then you'll go with which one you want me to use. So Haas, your page 19. 3 choices: career, CEO, or and CEO is the second one. So career, CAREER, CEO, or change, CHANGE. Career, CEO, or change. Which one you want to go with, Haas? Zet's going to go with page 22. Okay, I got you. Good. Haas, career, CEO, or change. And in fact, let me drop that down to 2 choices. Nope. Let me go with what you say. What you going with, Haas? I was getting ready to cheat, but I don't need to cheat. It might even be even better. But we'll see what happens. Wait for Haas's number. And the music is playing. Career, CEO, or change. What you got, Haas? Haas, are you still there? Yes, you are, because you just sent Zed a thumbs up. All right. So I'm waiting on you. Oh, okay. I think that whenever I refresh the page, maybe that makes it come up. Nope. Haas, I'm still waiting on you. What I might do, I might go on the Zet. Let me see. Maybe you came up on my other. My Haas may have. Oh, there you go, Haas. I'm sorry. I just saw it. Change. Okay, I didn't page down. Thank you, Zet. All right. Oh, interesting, y'all. It came up on one computer, but not the other. Okie dokie, fine. Okay, change. CHANGE. Challenges, hardships, accomplishments, negotiations, guidance, and empathy. You are a master of change. And then another one for change, creating harmony always needs a godlike ego. The reason I said I was almost going to cheat, I was going to actually take change out of the formula, but I'll keep it there because it's a time for me to do a promotion for my Thursday session, which is coming up, called Masters of Success, Masters of Change, Embracing Success's Challenge. And what we'll find is that change, CHANGE, challenges, hardships, accomplishments, negotiations, guidance, and empathy. Each of these words brings up a feeling inside us that makes us think about what we did to survive. And see, I think that the challenge, one of the things that I'll be talking about Thursday is how we've allowed financial success to become the headline instead of the subset of actual success. Success should be the headline. Financial success should be a subset. But because we've allowed financial success to become the headline, we've lost sight of what success can be, and success requires change. So those words that I mentioned, challenges, hardships, accomplishments, negotiations, guidance, and empathy, all of those words make us think of something that we did to survive. We've been challenged. We've had hardships, accomplishments. We had to negotiate. We've had to have somebody guide us. We've had to have empathy. And those have helped us survive. Survival equals success. And that's what I'm going to be talking about on Thursday. So if you haven't registered for that, make sure you register for that. I got a promo here for you. That's called Masters of Change, Embracing Success's Challenge. So make sure that you register for the Zoom session, and because advanced registration is required on Zoom. Okay, but let's go back to your word, Haas. Let's go to change. And then, and again, I just said it actually. If you think of those things, those are all a part of change. All of those things are little things that we need to do to change. We have to, once we're challenged, we make a change. Once we go through a hardship, we make a decision and a choice. We make a change. Once we accomplish something, it changes who we have in our immediate surroundings. Because once you accomplish something, once you take another step, it changes who you hang out with. All right. Negotiations. There's the key. Do we let a negotiation be a concession? No, we have to give. We all say you got to give some to get some. You got to give money to make money. You negotiate things, and that changes how you look at things based on the outcome of the decision that you made. And then guidance, you have to have guidance. You got to get other people's input. Goes back to that acronym, affirmation of learn. You get other people's input, and then you say, I'm going to change the way I look at that. Or you may change in terms of standing even harder on your belief. Nope, based on what they just said, I stand even harder. I'm more firm on what I believe. That's a change. And then empathy, once we understand that we're all going through something, we can find a way to at least listen and understand someone else, and that will become a change in our life. And then the other definition I have for change is creating harmony always needs a godlike ego. And again, we can take that one from the back going in. Would you have a godlike ego? Because we all have an ego. An ego is, this is who I am, this is what I believe. But if you have a godlike ego where you believe, well, I'm God's child and I'm going to make a difference, to create harmony, you have to be willing to do what God says. Because didn't God say we're all created equal? Didn't God say I'm making you in the likeness of myself? So if I have a God-like ego, now I've got a chance at creating harmony because I don't see the other person as my adversary. I see the other person as my accomplice. As my teammate. Accomplice could be a dangerous one, okay? But that's the key. It's a slow. This is a slow system. Well, mine's is moving too slow. And Haas, you know what it was? I just did page down, and what it did was it gobbled up your comment, and because it's not showing me all of the comments. So that just gave me another thing that I need to do is gobble this up so it can show me all of the comments. So thank you. But that's what change is about. And then we'll do one more, and that's Zet. She picked page 22. I wonder why. Could it be because she's born on June 22nd? Okay. See, and that's what I'm, again, people, that's the creativity, that what you look for in things. We make a lot of subconscious choices that we can also be conscious of that they are a blessing for us. And Zet put amen in there. And I want to just highlight amen, because amen was one of my affirmations, AMEN, a message everyone needs. See, we all need your message. So what is your message? When people are saying amen, think about it. When you say amen to a pastor or to someone to say something, it's like, yeah, I received that message. Yeah, and everyone needs to know that. See, amen is a final. It says yes. Again, that's one of my affirmations, and I believe that. See, so do you believe that? The things I just said about change, do I believe that, or am I just practicing what I preach? If you look back at that meme, that's what I mean by, are you saying things to satisfy your public persona, or are you doing things that satisfy your personal commitment? See, your personal persona are the things that you post. So, well, I'm not going to tell them how I feel about this, but I'm going to say this, and then when I get home, that ain't who I am. See, that's your personal commitment. So that's the difference between practicing what you preach and preaching what you practice. Your public persona are the things that you post so that you can make people say, this is what I'm thinking. And I got to tell you, I'm thinking about, even when we think about the unrest that's going on in our society right now, you have to be careful. Everybody's talking about, tear down the statues. You know what? I wrote myself a note, and I says, it wrote, tearing down statues erases the visible replica and strengthens the indivisible resolve. Did you hear that? Tearing down statues erases the visible replica and strengthens the invisible resolve. See, you can tear down that statue and say, and now the statue is no longer there. Say, well, these people were slave owners and that's no longer there. But the people who believed in that statue now are more resolved to take their stand in terms of being the prejudiced people that they are, if that's what the fight is all about. Because now you no longer see so you are now comfortable in that midst, because the visible replica is not there to remind you, this is where such and such believes, and I need to check myself. And that goes for everybody, y'all. That's not just for Black people. That's for everybody. When you're in a new space, your comfort could be your downfall. Because now that you don't see that I have the cross on my, that I didn't burn the cross on my lawn, you don't see my flag, you don't see my statue, you don't know what I believe. And so you may, as much as harmony is about us trusting one another. And so, and then the challenge becomes, once somebody trusts you, trust is a difficult thing. Okay. So as you can see, that's a whole nother sermon, a whole nother topic that we can talk about. So let's not, let's slow down. In fact, it's funny how Haas put that the system is slow, but yeah, let's slow down and look at some of these things, because some of these are minor concessions that will just divert the real problem. Everybody's talking about, we need to have conversations about race. Yeah, we do, but we need to have conversations that are substantial, have some substance. And there's again what I'm talking about. Is erasing the visible replica. That reminds me, and and now you got more closet racists. And because then we talk about the fact that racism we don't want people to be anti-racist. We want them to, to not be racist. We want them to be anti-racism. So again, if you believe in something and somebody tears down what you believe, you get a lot stronger about, okay, they tore that down. Okay, well, let me just wait my chance. And I'm going to throw on Zet's comment up there, because it is deep. It is deep, y'all. And that's why it's so important for us to choose our messengers carefully, because someone is feeding you information that now you may take to someone else, and they may say, I never looked at it that way. And then that might be what helps them see it, or it might not be. Or it might, because guess what? In case they're the person whose resolve has been strengthened, they say, they saw that part of me. I got to come up with something else. Yeah, there's so many ways, y'all. This is the world we live in. So we just happen to be patient and deal with it. So Zach, here are your 3 words. I'm sorry, I should have given you the 3 words while I was talking. You could have been putting the word in the feed that you wanted. Coach, COACH, cold, COLD, and community. Community. I should have thought of that. I was so caught up. Okay, but coach, cold, and community. Which one you want to go with, Zach? And I know you're a woman of quick action, so her answer is probably there quicker than the system is slow, huh, Haas? Okay, coach, cold, or community. And it hasn't shown. Nope. Excellent points on change. Thank you, Haas. All right. Oh, there you go, Zach. Community. Thank you. I knew that's a woman of quick action. Community. 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 Creating ongoing moments and memories of unity. Community, creating ongoing moments and memories of unity. See, that's what community is about. See, once, and again, I love it. We can come backwards. Unity is about what? About us coming together based on a common belief. That's what unity is about. Let's work together. And let me scale that down just a bit. We may not have to have a common belief, but we may want to have at least a common goal. We may still disagree in terms of what we believe, but when we see what we want it to be, that's where we can have unity. Now, for us to have that, for us to create those, they have to be ongoing moments and memories, because we've got to erase that negativity, those negative moments and memories in our head, to create new ones. Say, yeah, I can't stand this, but I see real change, and I see that we're coming together. I forgive myself, because that's where the forgiveness has to start. Do you forgive yourself so that you can make sure that you see what's going on? And Martha put community in there as well, so that's cosign. And I don't know if she was just letting me know Zet's word, but we throw them both up there too. My maternal sister and one of my spiritual sisters both said community. But that's what community is about. It's really about us creating ongoing memories and moments with the people who we want to make sure that we keep united with and build them up. So that's going to be the last one out of my affirmations. But I think the 3 pages is good. But as you can see, it reminds you, it takes us back to, are you practicing what you preach? Or are you preaching what you practice? Everything that I wrote in that book, there were things that I believe, otherwise I wouldn't have put them in there. And and I've got 240 of them, over 240 affirmations in there. So I don't necessarily remember what I was doing when I created each one, but this exercise that we're doing now gives me the chance to look at them. And I may not remember the exact moment, but I know what I believe. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what you have to do. You have to know what you believe, because you know what? You can die for your beliefs. That's really what it's all about. Even again, we're looking at peaceful protests, and but change comes about with, there's usually bloodshed. Somebody has had to die for change, and someone has died just through a natural death and didn't get to see the change come about. Even let me go all the way back to Moses. Okay, Moses died knowing that change was going to come. Dr. Martin Luther King knew that change was going to come, but they didn't get to see it or experience it. That's where you've got to slow yourself down, and we've got to slow ourselves down. Let me include myself. Let me not act like it's you and not me. We've got to slow down and recognize that change is a slow process. The challenges that we're having in today's society didn't happen overnight. They took years. And so I had a great conversation with a good friend of mine today, Cooper, and I want to bless her because she helped me see it even a little bit more. And that's one of the things that I enjoy conversating with you. Conversing. Ooh, I don't believe I said conversating. Conversing, y'all. So if you ever been saying, yeah, we were conversating, take it out of your vocabulary, you were conversing. But just talking to people and getting a different perspective. Back to that learning and listening, okay? So slow yourself down and make sure that you get the information that you need. What I decided to do is share with you one of my final affirmations, and that is thanks. I want to thank you because it goes right with what I was talking about in terms of community, okay? And my thanks is that the heart always needs kindred spirits. And that's what you are to me. You're a kindred spirit. You know, I joked with somebody on a post the other day, said I don't honor the First Amendment on my page, freedom of speech. No, my page is for uplifting people of like minds. And you know, I don't have you've never had a lot of debates on my page. I make a post, someone may disagree with it. I don't worry about coming back with that at them and convincing them in my belief. It's my post is there for the people who believe what I believe, and then we can be strengthened by it. If someone tries to come in, and if I see too much debate going back and forth negative, I delete the post. And depending on what the back and forth was, I will unfriend the person. This is my page. And this is, so thanks. It's the heart always. I need kindred spirits around me. I know people say, well, you got to have other people so you can get other opinions. That's fine. And I can get other opinions through different venues. This page is for people who believe and see things the way I see it. And I go to pages people who do the same, and I am strengthened through that. I'm not saying that I don't, that I have to agree with everybody and everybody has to agree with me. No, but I don't need to be, when I need the other opinion, I can get it. I can get it, but I'm trying to strengthen myself and my people. And you are my people as we are on this page together. And even if we don't agree, know that you are not, as long as you're not on my page tearing someone else down, then you actually are my kind of person, because that's one thing that we can agree. It goes back to that respect thing. We can respect one another. So the poem I actually want to read today is actually called Moments of Violence. And it's in my book, I Found Out I'm Dying. But the Moments of Violence is actually a poem about calm. Even though we're looking at the protests and everything, it's a poem that I wrote in honor of Nelson Mandela. I wrote this in honor of Nelson Mandela. And so you'll hear that in the poem. And as you may know, and if we need a history lesson for some people, he was in prison for 27 years under the system of apartheid. And then when he was freed, imagine 27 years, y'all, of him saying, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get out. Can you imagine the mental strain that took? So that's why I say again to us today, slow down with these protests and don't worry about whether or not it's going to happen in your lifetime. Believe strong enough in what you believe in to stand your ground. And that's what he had to do for 27 years. And then when he got out, he ended up becoming the president. And he wasn't bitter and saying, okay, now that I'm the president, I'm going to get back everybody who imprisoned me. No. There's just so many examples that we have that peace is possible. Peace is possible. But that's what this poem is about. And that's why it's called Moments of Violence. As I ponder my congratulations to Nelson Mandela, I drift more toward his plight. Forgive me if I rhyme, but total equality won't happen overnight. Please stay with me even as I pause and embrace the spirit that celebrates the cause. Through the history and slavery so associated with apartheid, smiles and words of love now fill the lives of those who cried. Some cried for freedom, some for death. Many were rewarded with pain. Staring across the horizon, they recount that suffering, rejoice, and prepare to reap its gain. As I subtract 27 years from my life, I stand naive with a bright future and can't help but see that vision so bright of a world full of people and places and things where the color of your skin didn't make you right. As I add 27 years to my lifetime, I foretell of the knowledge I'll have earned. And I pray that my vision materializes into a world where mankind has learned. As I ponder my congratulations to white South Africa, I welcome the closure of that book. I applaud Mother Africa's new freedom, and in moments of silence, what it took. Moments of silence, not moments of violence, what it takes. Change takes silence. Change takes us listening to one another, learning another side of it, and then making a new decision. But it takes commitment. And that's why I say, don't just practice what you preach what you practice. And therefore, it's no mistake that I have on this t-shirt that says focus. Finding ourselves creates unlimited success. Focus on you and let other people come into focus. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of the people in your life who are important to you. And that becomes one of our keys. That's one of my guiding principles. It's my first F that I give myself. And my Fs, I have 5 fundamental Fs, and they're all positive. Focus, faith, fun, friends, and freedom. So focus on you and take the moments of silence, silent reflection. Go inside and think about what's going on in your life and how you impact so many other lives with everything that you do, because you do make a difference. And I gave you the promotion earlier, but that's why I want you to make sure that you register for this Thursday's Zoom session, Masters of Change, Embracing Successes Challenge. What is it about you that's so successful that challenges other people? And sometimes it challenges us. So that's what I want you to do. If you'd like a copy of the poem, make sure that you send me a request to sporty@sportyking.com. All of my books, as you see them on the side and behind me, are available at my website, sportyking.com. Okay. But also recognize, I thank you, Haas, Vic, and Zet for participating today, and all of y'all who chose to chime in. And you may even watching the video, maybe you still put some words in there. But I appreciate that. And I want to let you know that my Wednesday message will be step equals stop. Step equals stop. So I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for Glue Wednesday. But for now, have a wonderful week. Recognize that GLUE, God's love undoes everything. But thank God it's the glue, because it brings us together and it keeps us keeping it together. All right? Over and out. God bless you. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye. Hey, Kim. I'm going to go through and do my shout outs in the feed. All right. Thank y'all so much. All right. Bye-bye.